Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's me playing and I'm in my Shimakaze, 10 Japanese destroyer. I'm on the map Haven in a 4-point domination game, and well, I'm facing 2 raiders and 1 carrier, so not the worst, but definitely also not the best. Now despite everything, I still do enjoy playing destroyers a lot, and I love my Shimakaze, and I'm also fairly successful even in today's meta. Now anyway. So the first thing I want to do is take a cap, and when you approach a cap, it's vitally important to have an exit strategy, especially if there is some unknown raider around. Now I slowed down here because I didn't want to get spotted by the planes early on. I didn't want to be forced to smoke here, but right now we actually have some pretty good information. We know that the Buffalo and the Kronstadt are up in the north, so they can't raider me here. And that means I can't just go in here and smoke. Now usually I'd want to have my nose pointed towards an exit so that I can run away if I get raided. But that doesn't seem to be a problem right here. Now what I also have to take in mind is that there is a Grossevoy here who might just be torping towards my smoke. So what I want to do is I want to be kind of angled against where potential torps are coming from. I want to stay inside the cap here. And I should be fine here. Now I do have a Buffalo here behind an island as radar support and as anti-air help. The Grossevoy, well, it seems like he left, but that's fine. I'll just sit here in my smoke and cap, and then I'll probably run away. And we will see what happens. Now we have a Daring taking the sea cap, so far everything okay. Our carrier is providing some nice spotting, and we briefly saw the Grossevoy. I assume he might have torped here, and there are the torps, so we are just on our merry way now. So that seems fine. And there are some more torps. I think I'll be able to dodge them easily, and I don't even have to because they are running out. Now this island could have been a little bit problematic, to be honest, because I could have beached myself there. But anyway. So on this flank it looks like there is the enemy Shimakaze, there is Sao and Yamato, and there is some potential for me to land some torpedoes. So that's where we are going next. We have the B cap secured, we are in the process of securing the C cap, which leaves me the option to just go around and torpedo stuff. So generally in my Shimakaze, my first priority is taking capture points and, well, providing some spotting for the team, and then it's torpedoing things that are getting too close to, for example, capture points. If you're facing an enemy team that's just running away, a Shimakaze can be really frustrating because you're relying on getting torpedo damage, and targets that are running away are pretty hard to torpedo. But that means usually you're winning anyway, so at least you got that going for you. Now those torpedoes have 2 purposes. They could hit whoever's in the smoke, and they could hit the Yamato, because those 2 things seem to align like this. But well, the Shimakaze left his smoke. I'd still hit the Yamato though. And that's not looking too bad there. So once again the question is, what now? There seems to be a Hindenburg coming for B. I got another torp launcher ready for the Yamato. Now since we just pulled the Yamato's damage con, most likely, the next set of torps might just get us a flooding. Now with 3 torpedo launchers in the Shimakaze you have some options. If you use all of your launches at the same time, you can spread them out and create a nice little wall of torpedoes. Shima torpedoes are easily spotted, but if you have a big enough wall, they might not be able to dodge anyway. On the other hand, if you're like using 2 launches and then one a little bit later, you might be able to just pull the damage con and then get them flooding. Or you can also just keep 1 launcher in reserve for defensive purposes or something like that. Now, we have a Hindenburg inside B that's not spotted. So the idea for me right now is just get some spotting on the Hindenburg so that somebody can interrupt him. So for potentially that Buffalo, or like unfortunately that Yamato is going away. And oh my god, I found a Grossevoy. Now, I'm not getting into a gunfight with a Grossevoy backed up by a Hindenburg and a Yamato. It seems like a bad idea. So we got some resets in and now I'm just trying to smoke here. The Hindenburg is still coming closer. If that Hindenburg has hydro, he can hydro me at 6 kilometers. But I do have this island here and, well, I mean, if the moment I'm a hydroed, I'll just go forward and run away. But right now I wanna try to sink this Grossevoy. And it looks like the Hindenburg doesn't have hydro running right now. So we lost vision on the Grossevoy, unfortunately. The Yamato just gets further and further away, so he can't actually help. And the Buffalo has been taken out, so that's a little bit of a bummer there. So basically I'm all alone here now, without any help. It managed to sink the Grossevoy, so I guess it's time for me to run away too, because even though the Hindenburg isn't hydroing right now, that doesn't mean that it's not becoming ready at any point. Like, I assume it's on cooldown, and I have no idea when it will be ready again. So I wanna keep my distance there a little bit. Now my team is not in the best position, so we lost the C cap despite all of our ships being up there, and we are losing the B cap because nobody's here. And there's the hydro. So it looks like it became ready right now, which means those torps are probably going to fail because they are now spotted. Unless somebody is in an undodgeable situation or they just aren't paying attention. There is basically not much I can do here. Now I'm still launching some more torps this way because, you know, why not? Those torps will also sail through the hydro and be spotted. But there is nothing else that I could torp. And I don't think there is a point in just holding them back here. And you know what? We managed the torp on the Yamato, so I guess he either didn't pay attention or he made a mistake. But okay. So, this game isn't developing so nicely. We are only 2 ships behind, which is not the end of the world, but all of our ships are not really in greatest of positions, let's put it like this. Like, I'm not sure what this Montana is doing in the 10 line. I'm not sure why we have a Grossevoy at J1. But okay. So I'm trying to help the Daring retake the C cap, and look at that, we got two torps in the Yamato, and I'm pretty sure both salvos were just spotted. But then again, who knows, maybe he was just that unlucky. Anyway, there is a gearing around here. The Buffalo is around, so that's something to keep an eye out. I'm still outside of radar range, but that might change soon. So I'm just blind torping here, hoping that the gearing maybe makes a mistake, sits in his smoke screen and I can get him. So those are just more or less RPF torpedoes towards where I hope the gearing is. Now our SAO is coming in with hydro here, it looks like, which is pretty good. And instead of trying to guessing where the gearing... Oh, my anti-air was on. So that's a mistake. I should have had my anti-air off here, so I briefly got spotted. I do have a smoke still ready and the Buffalo isn't close enough for radar, so that's good news. Now let's just launch some torps through this gap. Like, I'm not entirely sure how the ships are going to maneuver, but it's not like I have a lot of options if I want to launch in this direction. I only have to launch through this gap, so we're giving this a try. And this SAO seems to be in a bit of trouble, carrier is dropping like this, so my idea is now, let's give this SAO some smoke, right? So we can both dodge this torp, it looks like... okay, the SAO is overturning. I guess the SAO is overturning because he wants to get away from those guys, but he is inside my smoke screen, and that did help. So I guess I just wasted my last smoke in a desperate try to help this SAO. But you know, yeah, same situation, I would try again. I think it was worth trying. So anyway, this game is looking slightly problematic. Now, oh, the D-perp got reset, so at least we didn't lose that. So let's try to get some torps into the Yamato. Maybe I should wait and start syncing up some of my torp launchers again. so that I can create some nice little walls. Because, I mean, this Yamato just has to change his course and speed a little bit and he will miss those torps. So, the north doesn't seem like a very exciting place. There is a buffalo there. And the Shimakaze is coming for our carrier. So my idea currently is, how about I try to protect my carrier? We're just facing a slight problem. The Shimakaze has more health than... But it's not really that much more health. Oh look, we found the Grossevoy, that's nice. So getting my guns in there, sinking that Grossevoy is important. And that worked. Now I'm spotted in front of a Yamato. That Yamato could hurt me quite a bit if he has his guns pointed my way. Let's just face it, Yamato guns hurt, and at this range it's unlikely that he's going to miss. So my hope was that just his guns weren't pointed this way, because his turret traverse is really bad. So, 11 seconds for more torps. I'm trying to slow down here a little bit. I wanna get one torp launcher going before I engage this Shimakaze, just hoping against hope that I'll do land some hits there. So we have the torps. I'm thinking he might just turn slightly north there. We'll see how that turns out. And now we are going to engage this Shima. So he has a bit of a health advantage, but his turrets are not pointing my way. Shima also doesn't have the best turret traverse, so that's good for me. Carrier is also going in on the action. So Shima is turning my way, but Shima only has one front turret, so it's not a lot of firepower is pointed my way currently. And this is working out a lot better than expected, to be honest. I expected the Shima to put up much more fight. And my torpedoes found the Yamato, so that's a double strike. And suddenly, this is a 3 versus 3 game. Not looking so unwinnable right now, does it? Unfortunately though, the enemy team has a points lead. And let's just face it, our Grossevoy is pretty close to a buffalo, who may or may not be radaring him. And he might also be close enough to be in secondary range of the tier pits and so on. So if this Grossevoy gets spotted there, and well, the carrier is also coming in for it. So let's just hope that Grossevoy sinks something before he goes down, because I can't see him surviving that. And there you go, that was a trade. So it's 2 versus 2 now, but the enemy team has more points. So how do we play this? It's still 6.5 minutes left. The buffalo was fairly low. So if my carrier just sinks the buffalo, then I could sneak away into a corner and just try surviving. My health isn't that good. So the carrier, if he finds me, is a real threat. Now first let's start off with some torps against where the buffalo is. So I assume the buffalo will come this way and take C. Because what else would he be doing? Now my plan is go and capture B. Right, we gotta get more points than them. And that's most likely happening if I try to go E. Now my carrier will spot this buffalo, so then I'll have more information on what's happening. Ideally he will sink it, but you know he's already low on planes. So that's probably not going to happen, and the enemy carrier is going to defend this buffalo. So, with the knowledge where the buffalo is, I'll try to go through this gap, go for B. If the buffalo sails for C, I'll have this island protecting me from his shots. So even if he radars me or the carrier spots me, I might just be able to stay safe. Obviously, in a perfect world, he'll just sail into my wall of torps, and that would be nice, wouldn't it? But so far so good. As soon as I enter the B cap, the enemy team will know where I am. Well, sorta, and the carrier will come after me. So the carrier is flying around here, spotting things, trying to possibly find me. And my torps are almost ready again. But yeah, the buffalo is... I don't think he's coming this way. I mean, the buffalo could also be trying to just defend the B cap, but no. He is locked in for C, and now he is exactly as I wanted him to be behind this island, so he can't shoot me even if he would. No. So we are going for some torps here. The only way the buffalo can get shots at me is by sailing this gap. Well, for this gap. So we have some torps welcoming him there. And now we are going to have some delay torps. I mean, I don't really have any other option for my torps than launch through this gap, obviously. Now, I'm going to cap this very soon. The enemy carrier is on his way to stop me from doing that. Our carrier is trying to drop that buffalo so far, not having much success. And I'm hoping that I can just get this cap before he finds me. There you go. Cap is mine. So, doesn't have a full squadron here left, and there is like, here's the buffalo, here is the radar. Oh well, it's one less buffalo. So the buffalo was aiming straight for this gap because he really wanted to interrupt me. If I hadn't torped him, I would have needed to hide behind this island, probably. It could have gotten ugly with the carrier spotting me and me outside of out of smokes. But you know, it all turned out pretty well. And right now, I think this game is really won. Like, we now have a comfortable points lead. If he sinks me now, we will still win because we have more apps here. So he would need to sink us both, and that's unlikely to happen. So what are we going to do with the last remaining time? We're just heading for A. Maybe I can get another cap, or maybe I can find the carrier and shoot him a little bit. At this point, it seems like I can do whatever I please. Now my carrier is coming in, going here to defend me, dropping probably a fighter here above me. Yes, exactly. Which is nice of the carrier. So going for some torps against enemy carrier. It's raining planes from the sky. And yeah, there is like, I don't know, one plane left in that squadron. So I'll just ignore them and go in for some pew-pew against the carrier. Yeah, that's like one plane left. And that's actually a fairly big amount of damage for one plane left, but okay, who cares. Let's just see what we can do against this carrier and how much damage we can farm before this is all over. There is some potential for my torps, I believe. I mean, since carrier is just going with autopilot, it's not so easy for him to torpedo beat. And he's probably focusing on the dive bombers here. But let's get some more torps off. It looks like he doesn't even have to torpedo beat. That's a shame. But you know, we just win this by reaching 1,000 points anyway. And here we are with the results. Earned myself 2,572 base experience in this one, and it was a really enjoyable game that got my adrenaline pumping. Only achievement got was a double strike, scored 163,000 points of damage, sunk 4 enemies. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching it. It was certainly a fun game to play, and I'll see you guys next time.